Hi guys, and welcome to the second part of my iMac guide for dummies. In the second part we're gonna continue what we were saying in the previous video. What is really misleading for a user coming from Windows based computers is that closing the window here, you don't close the corresponding application. What I mean, if you close the window here, unlike Windows, you don't close Firefox. You only close the open tabs. In fact, if you notice, Firefox application has a white dot beneath it, which means it's still active. And in fact, the only way to close an application in the Mac OS operating system is right-clicking here and choose quit, like that. In fact, it's very common for in the first times that you don't realize how many applications are open, and you see your Mac slowing down without any plausible explanations. An easy way to understand what's going on is going here, applications, and then to utilities here, and open up activity monitor. Activity monitor shows you a list of the processes open at this moment on my iMac, and scrolling the list down you can notice if you left some application open after using it. In this case, I was working on my pictures and I forgot to close iPhoto here. So if I want to recover some RAM memory, all I have to do is click here on the X and choose quits, like this. As you can see, the process quit regularly. If you have some problem or the process should respawn, you should use force quits. Okay, let's move on. Let's start analyzing the dock, which is the bottom part of the screen, which is mainly divided into two parts. On the left, we have a series of most used applications and the icon of some important system tools. We're gonna break it down in a few. And on the right, after this dividing line here, we have a series of folders, the shortcuts to some important folders, namely documents, downloads, and applications. You can add another folder here if you want. I added a folder corresponding to my blog, and here you have trash. Now folders, when you put the a link to a folder here, it can be viewed in two ways, like a folder as it is here, for example, or like a stack. And this is something you don't have with Windows. It's a sort of 3D view, so it allows you to work directly with the files without opening the folder. So if I want to get rid of this, for example, I can simply click on it and drag it on the trash, and that's all. Now let's start breaking down the system tools here. The first one we find on starting from left after Finder here is Launchpad. Launchpad gives you an overview of the main applications you use and allows you to quickly search for an application in this search box here. For example, I searched for the string app. Moving to the right, you find mission control. What's mission control? It allows you to practically have an overview of all the windows and applications you have open at the moment, and to easily move from one window, or we could say one desktop, to the other one, and to add all the windows you want. Here you can see all the applications open at this time, and you can activate this view clicking F3 key on your keyboard or clicking the icon here. I can easily move the way I want. For example, I can decide I need to view my mail, or I want to go back to Firefox. All this without closing and opening any window. Another useful trick you can use to easily move through the windows is keeping Command and Tab keys pressed at the same time. It will show you a series of open app here. You can easily choose to move to a different one, for example Firefox, without closing and reopening any window. It's very quick and useful. Now let's start analyzing a series of important system tools. One tool we have here is Time Machine, whose icon is found here. Time Machine is a system backup utility allowing you to perform and schedule automatic backup. To do that, you need to have an external hard drive that can work with Time Machine. This requires you to format the hard drive using the MacOS extended format file system. What do I mean? I'm going to show you right now. Going to Application Utilities here, you're going to find Disk Utility. Once you have an external hard drive you want to use as backup disk, all you need to do is click here, Erase, and you're going to find here Format. You need to choose this, macOS Extended Journal. If it wasn't automatically selected as it is here, you can select it from this drop-down menu. Okay. Once you do this, you're gonna click Erase here, and after you do this, you can open up Time Machine from here, or here is the same. and opening up the preferences, you're gonna select the disk here, and you're gonna see your disk in this list only if you've formatted it using the macOS journal format. So you're gonna select your disk from here and then click use disk. In this case I won't do this because I have already my backup drive. Once you've done this, you need to move the switch from off, what is by default, to on. At this point, Time Machine will automatically start your first backup, which will take a while, a little longer, as is total one. And that will schedule automated backups. What's important here is clicking on options. If you run out of space, you can include here a list of folders you want to exclude from the backup because they're not really important for you, like in my case Parallels Desktop, Documents. I don't have anything particularly relevant in my virtual machine, so I can exclude it from my backup to save space. The last icon, when it analyzes here on the left part of the dock, is System Preferences. We can open System Preferences from here, or clicking on the Apple menu in the menu bar and clicking System Preferences. Either ways are good. I'm not going to delve right now into the analysis of all of them, but I'm gonna linger on a couple of them which are more important. We already saw mission control. Very important is language and region. Here we can define what should be our default system language. Here you can see two languages because my original iMac language was Italian, then I added English here as primary language for working reasons. A very interesting thing is you can change what's your primary language, dragging up to the list the language you want it to be primary, like this. Now a window should pop up after I close this, alerting that my primary language has changed, and if I want to confirm this change, I should restart my computer. No, I'm not gonna do this, but that's just to show you how to do that. You can also add another language if you want, clicking on the plus button and choosing from a list here and click add. I'm not gonna do this, but that's how you gotta do if you want to add a language that's not included here. Alright. Analyzing system preferences, an important system preferences concerns security and privacy. Here you can choose a series of different setups, you can disable the automatic login and require the user to enter a password to log in, for example. I need to enter my administrative password in order to change here. For example, clicking here, I will be prompted to enter my administrative password to log in the computer. This file vault allows you to encrypt your data, and to access them you will need a login password or recovery key. Is sometimes recommended, but it's an advanced functionality, so you need to know what you exactly been doing there, because you risk to mess it all up. An important functionality to implement here is firewall. By default, it's disabled. Now I'm gonna enable it. Usually, if you don't see the chance to change the options, you need to click here and enter your administrative password, because to perform any kind of installation or to modify any system setting, your macOS, unlike Windows, require you to enter an administrative password that you had to create. And anytime you want to install an application or to change some important setting, you'll be requested to enter this password. Okay. Here you can enable location services if you want. Another important option here is what kind of apps you want to allow to be installed. The default option is Mac App Store and identified developers, which is pretty sure. Sometimes you need to install something else, and in this case you want to change here, click in the lock here and choose anywhere, but I don't recommend it. Okay. Another important functionality is sharing. You can have a series of sharing functionality here. Bluetooth sharing needs to be enabled if you want to send files from your cell phone, for example, to your iMac. Only if you enable this, you'll be allowed to get the files from the cell phone. Okay guys, this video risks to become too long, so we're gonna continue our analysis of macOS for dummies in the next video. Thank you for your time and your patience, and have a good day. Bye bye.